The Jains used to believe in this idea called moksha, which meant, like, had to deal with everything with reincarnation and why we were reincarnating, because their beliefs were basically we were reincarnating over and over again until we find spiritual perfection, and that's what it was. It was reincarnating into what we all believe to be spiritual perfection. And that's what the Jains used to always believe. And the whole idea, and the Jains had this whole idea with the swastika way before the Nazism. And the swastika meant like it was a symbol of peace, and it was all just a symbol of power as well, like spirituality and having strength in what you do and what you believe in. And the swastika had to do with everything moksha. And that's probably, they found that, the Nazis found that the idea of spiritual perfection philosophy by the Jainists, and took it way too far with the whole deal with Germany in World War II. And you just have to believe, that the idea of moksha, but also the Jains followed this tenet, that had everything to do with nature and finding yourself and your inner peace, and they refused to give in to violence. Well, Buddhists didn't believe in giving into materialism, while the Jains didn't believe in giving into your own anger. So it's all just this huge idea, all these huge ideas about peaceful revolution of humanity, almost perfection of what humanity should be. And it all has to do with finding your inner self and believing a simple phrase called I am. I am all that I am. And that is what the Jains used to believe in. And I think everybody needs to find a way to believe in what they are, who they are, why they're here, And people need to start realizing and waking up that we are one with the earth. The earth is an organism, and we're the cells, basically. Some are like basically like when you smoke tobacco and your cardiovascular starts disappearing, your lungs disappear, you have heart problems. Well, that is basically the business ideal of, like it's basically constructive criticism of, oil fields and oil yards and rigs and all that. And that's destroying our oceans. And all they have to do is say, I'm sorry, kind of like what Bush was after, was the oil, when in reality we never needed that. It's just all fits together in this all thing. This is humanity, this is idealism and creationism and philosophy, and this is humanity. They intertwine with two pillars standing up, which is 11 and 11. People keep seeing this as a symbol of waking up when they see the term 1111. People think it's an angel number, but there's so many ideas behind this number. But basically, it all originates, this number 1111, all the way goes back to Egypt and even before, as the Egyptians believed that the 1111, the pillars of humanity and idealism, were the gates to heaven. That's what they really believed in. And they had everything, and they also had the scale. They put the feather of Maat on one hand and the heart of the man in one, and if it weighs less than a feather, then you get into heaven. And that's what everybody believes in. Egypt, Christianity, Jainism, Buddhism, even voodoo. Like voodoo believes, all they believe in is that everything has spirit. It's exactly like Shinto. The Chinese ideal that everything has spirit, called Shinto. And, that's just what people would rather believe in with all their heart. It's just that everything has a soul. And if everything has a soul, everything goes into the afterlife, but we don't know what that is. And people might start figuring it out, what heaven is, And what heaven truly is will soon, people have already figured it out, but soon everybody will know that heaven is the fifth dimension